I am grateful to the river that holds me, saddened with the knowledge that it is suffering, suffocating with human-inflicted actions, poison, agricultural runoff, excessive pollution, soil erosion, poison that has penetrated deep into the bowels of our earth and beyond. A symptom of the waste that is high in nitrogen and phosphate has created a condition favourable to an interesting plant. Victorian hands brought this to our lands for aesthetic greed, a blooming beauty with popping seeds, adding colour and humour to areas of destruction. An act of restorative craft, a call for regenerative landscapes. Invasive non-native species Himalayan balsam cradles over 500 seeds within its mature form. A legion of generational wanderers seeking refuge downstream, beckoning our native pollinators towards their alluring pink blossoms, diverting attention from our sacred native species. Unbeknownst to them, their beauty conceals a disruptive nature, vanishing each winter, leaving riverbeds vulnerable to erosion. The unwitting invader exacts a toll on our native biodiversity. Restoring our native biodiversity, replenishing the landscape, creating space for our native flora to root into the bank where it forms a relationship unseen by the naked eye. The law of this landscape, which carves out stories to remind us how much we need it, how it is vital in our stories, but we are not vital in it. We are merely passing through with destruction, burying pollution in the open mouth of the earth when she was simply singing with the birds. We have the power of play. We have the power of regenerative design. We have the power to speak. A gift to our world, a contribution to heal our wastelands. We carry the wisdom of our native places, the knowledge of the plants, the rich intelligence of our seasons and cycles. In soil we trust, but how can this godly material trust us back when it has fallen victim to our inflicted abuse? Do you treat the worm as if it were your pet dog? A microorganism as if you would your grandmother? Without them, you are nothing. Our own roots that penetrate the earth, that reach down into the soil, push down into the cracks in the rocks and drink too from the groundwater that flows beneath. The plants and fungi being citizens, and the soil their shared God. A religion based on symbiosis. I too feel entangled in this exchange. Through healing the land comes healing my wounds. Through healing my wounds comes healing the land. I'll be good to the land, and the land will be good to me. With all of its beauty and chaos, it caresses, it bruises, it stings, it holds, it's dangerous and its blessings. In this journey, we learned how to get our hands dirty, to place them upon the earth and plant the seeds of the new beginnings. We learned to listen again to the story told to us. Our mother, the soil, a material of regeneration, a support network of microbes, guardians of the soil. An ecological service that's working silently beneath our feet, nutritional exchange, fertility makers, purifiers, carbon storers, an underground community, a universe, one to be acknowledged, one to be praised, and one to be worshipped. Symbiotic communities that our landscape relies on to flourish, from the worm to the wren, from the forests to the rivers, from the cuckoo to the bat, all relying on a fine-tuned balance of ecological equilibrium. I grieve for the environment as I do for kin. I am held by the environment as she is my mother, soothing my body with roots and branches, the interconnectedness of microbial support. Bury me in the roots of the tree. Lay me to rest in the support network, an ecological service, feeding, loving, playing, boundaries, decaying lessons and teachings, an ineffable experience. In the death, in the life that we bring, tales to be told through the birds that sing, through the valleys that roar, in migration through seasons. The biodiversity of this landscape is our story. We must not lose our story. Listen closely and you will hear it. You will hear it in the delicate songs of the primrose in spring waving off winter. You will hear it in the acres of native woodland bellowing out the scent of wild garlic, in the sound of the cuckoo, the flap of a bat wing, the smell after it rains. These stories are a gift and a terrible burden. There's loss, there's grief, which is almost too heavy to carry. Carry it anyway. We were built for it, we women. It was always our role to carry these stories, and now the world cries out in agony, and it is up to us to carry these stories, to carry the truth. The story of our landscape has been conversing for some time now. We do not do this alone. We do this with the world. She holds us and in return tells us her stories. We are the ones who have made ourselves separate from the primrose, from the woodland, the cuckoo, and the bat. It is our story to continue her story. It is our story to protect her story. In the death of the old single-use material ways that lack our respect, a circularity of ecological material that comes from the earth and must eventually go back, one must move forward with ecological restorative narratives. Whilst healing the land comes healing my wounds, whilst healing our wounds comes healing our beloved land. Circularity systems, permaculture principles, regenerative practices, biodiversity protectors. One must take an oath to protect, for she will feed, medicate, and bring beauty before our eyes to witness, so genuflect to the landscape. This is a call for restorative craft. Regenerative landscapes, symbiotic relationships, from dust to dust, ashes to ashes, humus to humus, soil is to blood as soil is to body, circularity in systems, death is to nutrients. This is a call for regenerative practices, an ode to the environment through ecological restorative craft.